Greetings, beautiful soul, and welcome to my channel, The Optimist Hub. My name is Yanga, and today's video, let me have a sip first. Today's video, I want to be a little bit candid, and that is, yo guys, being too self-aware, I've come to realize, and I think this has been a thought that's been sitting in my mind for the past, say, 2 weeks, I think. 2 weeks, yeah. Being too self-aware, I find that for me, sometimes it's not that nice. It's not that enjoyable. I don't want to say it's toxic. I don't want to use the word toxic. I don't think there's anything bad with being self-aware. I am an advocate of self-awareness. I've spoken about self-awareness multiple times, if not on this platform. I have on my podcast on Spotify. Please do check it out. I think I did have a 3-part series. Please do check it out. I think I'll put it on the screen somewhere. But yeah, I'm an advocate of self-awareness, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to know self. And I think for me, when I look back at my journey with this whole personal development, transformational journey that I embarked on when I was 17, so that's literally 10 years ago. I'm 27 currently, so that was literally 10 years ago, and I do remember a moment where I literally was like, okay, actually, who am I? What am I? What am I doing here? What is this? What's my purpose? Da, 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 da. And then I started questioning a lot about my myself and my thoughts and my emotions and etc. Right? And I started getting into a whole shall I call it a rabbit hole of just being obsessed with personal development stuff and just philosophy as well. I love philosophy. So I read up on a lot of quotes. It started with quotes, so I always go and look for quotes. There's always a constant need and yearn for just wanting to be a better version of self. And that's why I always mention this in my videos, because we are essentially, guys, working towards wanting to be the best versions of ourselves. And I think that does require a lot of inner work and outer work as well. And I know with me, that's how it started. And then I'd, read up on blog posts on just the power of the mind and this, that, and I, with all of that information and material, I then started listening to a lot of podcasts, which this gives me an idea. Actually, I will have to do an updated video of a couple of podcasts that I've been listening to lately. I did have a video of, I think, me sharing the podcasts that were my favorite at the time. That was probably last year, if not last year. So I'll do an updated video on that, but not to digress. I started getting into a lot of podcasts. Again, just all about the, fixing yourself, working on yourself, the power of the mind, self-awareness, self-love, all of those things, right? A plethora of just learning self and empowering self and just growing self, personal development, all of that jazz, right? Again, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just giving you guys a brief history of how it all began for me. How I embarked on this journey, which I always, and I repeat, just because you've started does not mean it has an ending. In actual fact, personal development is continuous. It is also not a linear journey. And the reason why I'm doing this video right now is because I think in my previous video, I spoke about the process of transforming, or something about change. Yeah, the growing pains of change, and how it has its peaks and troughs. And right now I'm in my trough era. And this is also just to say, guys, just because I come on here and I talk about, all things optimism and follow your dreams and and just the power of your mind, etc. All these things that I talk about, again, are derived from the materials that I've been exposed to. I was not born like this, right? However, yes, I was born naturally inquisitive. And this is why, like I said, it all started with me just asking myself, who am I? What am I? Etc. Right? It is a constant thing of why until there's no why to answer anymore. Well, that is with me and my journey. Yeah, so anyway, again, just to go back to what I was saying, yeah, started with podcasts. Not started with podcasts. I then eventually started listening to a lot of podcasts, and then I read up on a lot of self-development books, which they all have an underlying theme. Some of the topics that I touched on these books are similar, if not the same, really. Every book really is reiterating, I found, the same thing but differently, and it's always good to read up on someone's view of whatever. I guess, for example, setting boundaries. Everyone has a different perspective on how to set boundaries. Emotions, how to deal with emotions, and etc. Like, everybody has their own ways. It's good to expose yourself to different versions of what that concept is all about. Well, that is for me, right? But let me have the last sip before I get into the tea of what I'm trying to say. But this past couple of weeks, I literally was sitting with myself and I was like, oh my God. Firstly, this month that we just transitioned from was probably, it was so weird for me. Not the best months. Like, that was a horrible month for me. I'm laughing now. It's actually not funny. Smiles and pain. But yeah, a lot happened. Like, literally, week 1, boom. Week 2, boom. Boom. Week 3, boom, boom, boom. Week 4, boom, boom, boom. I'm just like, the shortest month was actually the longest. But yeah, and I think in that, I was like, okay, cool, dude, listen. You are feeling a lot of emotions. Also, I'm not really big into astrology like that, but I have an interest, so I'll share a bit on what's happening astrologically as well. Currently, like, Mercury is in retrograde in Pisces, and my moon sign is Pisces. Now, Pisces energy is very intuitive, creative, but also emotional. And I've had quite an emotional month. And I'm, like I said, I'm in my tough season right now. I'm not here for long. Definitely. I'm not going to be in this tough season for long, okay? I'm going to pick myself up eventually. We're going to get there. It's, again, life is what? Cyclical. But, okay, to get to my point, I came across a TikTok video, and this girl was literally saying how being too self-aware, which actually is what inspired this video. Yeah, how being too self-aware has kind of ruined how she processes things, or she goes through things in life, because she intellectualizes her emotions. And I was like, there, that's it. That's what I've been doing. I tend to intellectualize my emotions because there is always a reason. You know, when you're self-aware, like, okay, I know I get angry because when XYZ happens. So when the moment presents itself where I have to be angry, one, I don't like being in a state of anger. I detest it. If anything, I like to run away from it. Confrontation, conflict, I don't like that. But I'm also aware of the fact that whenever there is conflict, it needs to be resolved. Like, it needs to, I cannot run away. That's not a mature thing to do, right? But I'm also one that likes to sit and process. I process a lot, and in the processing, a lot of thoughts are being thunk, right? And it's in the thoughts that are being thunk that I intellectualize my emotions and feelings, and I'm just like, oh no, I think I felt angry because this is that. And then I ask myself, why is it because of this is that? Okay, why did that make it that? Why? Until it gets to a point where I don't have the answer for it anymore. And the thing is, because at the end of the day, even the books that I read and podcasts that I listen to, they often say, listen, detach from your thoughts. Yes, let the thought come, process it, but detach from it. Do not identify with the thought. Accept it as it is. So I found that sometimes, yes, I may feel sad which I don't like being in a low vibrational energetic state where I'm sad, angry, all of that, right? But when I do find myself in that state, I will sit with the thought and the feeling. First, I'll sit with the feeling and then the thought and ask, why are you feeling like this? And then I'll be like, okay, now it's time to detach from the feeling, because the thought says, it is what it is. Accept, let go and let God. Sometimes it's not easy to just accept. It's not so easy to just, be like, oh, it is what it is. No, because the feeling and the emotion demands that you feel it. You have to feel it through. You need to feel it. Okay, this thing of, I found that for me, being too self-aware has actually impacted and perhaps even disturbed how I process feelings and emotions. Because at the end of the day, let me tell you, yes, in my mind, I will say, it is what it is, it's okay, whatever, right? But I'm still sitting with the heaviness of the feeling because I'm actually processing it here. It's more thought-led and not heart-led, right? It should be heart-led as well. The processing should be heart-led as well. So yeah, I'm in that season. It's all good to know yourself. It's all good to be, personal development and all of that. But also emotionally, I think we tend to abandon that aspect because it's like we're also told, do not lead from your emotions. Lead from, make a decision and go with it. So oftentimes there's a lot of focus on the logic more than the heart. And it's so crazy because naturally I am very gentle, I'm very soft, and I'm very emotional. That doesn't mean I cry a lot. Yes, I do. But that doesn't mean I cry a lot. I mean, everything that I do, I always try to be heart-led. So it's wild because I will do things from a heart-led perspective. This sounds like I'm contradicting myself, but those who get it will get it. I am heart-led most of the time. And then whenever something unfavorable happens, or just doesn't always have to be unfavorable, it could just be whatever, I then want to sit and process it, and it's in the processing that now I apply more of the logic element to it as opposed to the emotional aspect. So all this to say, find a balance between the emotional and the logic, because at the end of the day, we are human and we are meant to feel. We are meant to experience life through feelings and emotions. There are a lot of things that we tend to suppress and bury under the carpet as people that reveal themselves or unravel, and we still just choose to intellectualize the feeling and the emotion as opposed to feeling it through. Sometimes the best way to heal from certain things is to feel it through and not think it through. Oftentimes we tend to think things through instead of feeling them through, and they linger because we just thought of them. We didn't feel them. We didn't feel the necessary things that we needed to feel. And so look, I'm in the process and in the journey of, I suppose, trying to detach from wanting to always to understand why I feel the way I feel. Sometimes just feel the way you feel and just let that be the reason. You're sad because you're sad. Don't want to figure out why are you sad? Why? Oh, and then eventually it's like, oh my gosh, everything always stems from, and look, most likely, most things stem from our childhood, experiences and traumas and wounds and all of that. Everything just really does kind of boil down to the experiences that we've had as children. But it just doing that all the time does hurt the inner child. I know with me it does. If I sit and I'm like, okay, why do I feel like this happened to me? Oh, it happened because, and then eventually I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, the inner. So I would suggest therapy. I have gone back to therapy. I think there is something beautiful about the journey of personal development, is that you get exposed to not necessarily the idea, but you get to heal yourself. But as the healer of self for that season, you cannot always heal. A healer also needs to be healed by another healer. So this is to say, I mean, if you've gotten to a point where you're like, okay, look, just go and seek help. Go to therapy. I've mentioned therapy a couple of times on my channel. I'm not just saying these things because even me, I apply them, right? Because I did say we are all on a journey of transforming and evolving into becoming better versions of ourselves. I've never claimed to be there. I've never claimed to be perfect. I am far from perfection. I am also evolving and growing and changing, right? And some of the things that I share here are things that I would have recently learned for myself as well, that I've applied, things that I've observed. Here's another thing as well. Being too self-aware makes you super conscious of, you become your own observer. So you become the experiencer and the observer of self. Two roles at the same time is wild. It is wild, right? Because you're like, okay, I'm the experiencer of the thing, whatever it is, of life, but I'm also going to observe myself from another different lens and analyze myself and psychoanalyze myself and say, okay, cool. It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm pretty sure my journal hates seeing me come for it. But do journal. I fully recommend journaling, guys. Journaling is good. Please do that. I will never not encourage journaling. I will never not encourage sitting with self. I always say this, sit with self, introspect, etc. But do not be my point of this video, I guess, is to say, yes, be self-aware. Please do pursue the journey of self-awareness. Please do pursue the journey of personal development. Pursue the journey of evolving, growing, and transforming, because essentially this is why we're here. We are here to expand, to grow, to evolve. However, please do be mindful of the fact that you shouldn't always try to intellectualize your feelings and emotions. We are human beings, and to be is to feel. Yeah, it's not to do. Thinking requires a lot of, you need to do the thinking. Feeling is just, it's natural, so yeah. This video is a bit I don't know, all over the place, uncoordinated, I'm not sure, but I truly hope that you guys found some nuggets of wisdom. I really want us to all grow and evolve, and this is what I have observed with myself. And when I came across that TikTok, I was like, oh my gosh, this is not a unique experience. Like, my fellow people are also feeling like this. Without wasting any time, thank you so much for watching this video. If you did make it to the end of this video, thank you so much. 20 plus minutes of me talking is no child's play. If you found this video insightful and you'd like to indulge on more, please do subscribe down below, and please do give this video a massive thumbs up. And also please do share it with your loved ones, your family and friends. And please subscribe, guys. Please subscribe. I'm coming back on YouTube, okay? I'm back, actually. I'm back. I'm back like I never left. I'm back like umqolo. Okay, guys, no, for real, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And see you in my next video. Cheers. Oh no, we don't cheers, we say namaste.